As a fan who has been following Hou Minghao and Liu Yuxiao's career for a long time, that day became one of the most adorable and unforgettable moments. I had the rare opportunity to be on set, witnessing firsthand how these two young stars interacted between shots. To be honest, at first I came with a simple expectation, just to see their professional process behind the scenes. However, what I found was precisely the warm atmosphere, light laughter, and familiarity that felt so natural between the two. From the very beginning of the day, the air on the set was pleasant. The morning sun penetrated gently through the cracks of the trees, while the crew was already busy preparing the set. When Hou Minghao came in with his casual style and relaxed smile, all eyes seemed to be directly on him. On the other hand, Liu Yuxiao appeared shortly afterwards with a light step and a cheerful face that radiated positive energy. When the two meet in the set area, there is a kind of cozy aura that is difficult to describe, like two best friends who already know each other very well. As a fan, I pay attention to every little detail. How did Hou Minghao sometimes shake his shoulders while laughing to himself after one of the scenes? Or how Liu Yuxiao reflexively clapped his hands in an exuberant style when the shot was successful? Those simple things actually show their human side, far from the cold and perfect impression that is often seen on the screen. What caught the most attention was their nervous behavior while waiting for their turn to take pictures. There was one moment when Minghao, who was sitting in a chair near the camera, began to play a property hat that was supposed to be used in the next scene. He tried to wear it upside down, making the watching crew chuckle. Liu Yuxiao, who was sitting not far from him, seemed to be trying to hold back a smile but failed miserably. He then covered his face with his hands, as if succumbing to the spontaneous cuteness of his companion. Such moments not only melt the atmosphere on the set, but also make the whole team work more lightly. Even the director could throw a amused expression, while the camera assistants tried to keep the focus so as not to laugh. In the midst of a busy filming, their small behavior seemed to be a reminder that even work can be accompanied by laughter and happiness. As a fan watching live, I felt there was something genuine about their interactions. There is no pretense of being made up or pretending to be familiar for the camera. Everything looks natural, just flows like two people who are used to sharing space and time in everyday life. At times, Liu Yuxiao seemed to pay attention to the details of Minghao's costume before shooting began, brushing off a little dust on his shoulders or smoothing out the slightly slanted location of the scarf, while Minghao often lowered his head slightly when Liu Yuxiao passed by, either out of politeness or just a small habit of unconsciously showing respect. In between shots, they can often be seen sharing light laughs with the makeup team or stylists. There was a warmth emanating from each of those interactions, making the entire location feel alive and friendly. I was thinking, maybe this is why so many fans love this couple so much. Not only because of their matching acting, but also because of the aura of intimacy that is really real off-screen. There was one thing that really stuck in my mind that day. While waiting for the light to be reset, Minghao was seen carrying a large bottle of water and several small snacks. Without saying much, he placed it on a table near Liu Yuxiao before continuing to read the script. At first glance it seems ordinary, but to the observant eye of a fan, it is a simple form of attention full of meaning. Liu Yuxiao stared for a moment, then smiled a little, a smile that made the atmosphere of the afternoon feel warmer than the sunlight that began to dim. When shooting resumed, their chemistry really flowed seamlessly, not only because the script demands closeness of the characters, but because there is indeed a strong built-in cooperative relationship behind the scenes. After the director shouted, "Cut!" Minghao had time to let out a small laugh that made all the crew laugh along. He looked like a young man who never lost his spirit, while Liu Yuxiao looked at him with an expression of a mixture of amusement and admiration. Some of the crew who were near me had whispered, saying that this couple is famous for a working atmosphere full of jokes but still professional. They know when to be serious, but also know when to release tension with a light laugh. I could see with my own eyes how the balance was maintained. Even in the midst of a long, exhausting schedule, both never lose the positive spirit that is contagious to everyone. As a fan, it feels amazing to see how the two idols that I have only been able to see through the screen turned out to have such a warm and homely side. I even had a chance to see when Minghao helped move a chair or lifted a light property, when it was not part of it. while Lu Yuxiao gently encouraged the exhausted lighting crew. Two young people who were not only talented, but also humble. That was the impression that really stuck in my heart after that day. By late afternoon, the atmosphere began to calm down. The sun leans to the west, creating a golden color throughout the shooting area. In the middle of the scene, Minghao was seen playing with the shadows of his hands on the floor, making funny shapes that even made Lu Yuxiao smile again. Several other fans who were also lucky to be present on the set laughed quietly, trying to restrain the cheers of admiration so as not to interfere with the next shooting. In silence, I realized that it was moments like this that made their fandom feel alive. Not just about romance or gossip, but about admiration for two human beings who can make the working atmosphere full of laughter and warmth. There was something tender in the way they appreciated each other, supported each other without a word. When filming ended, and the crew began to tidy up the equipment, Minghao and Lu Yuxiao still had time to greet some of the staff in a friendly manner. There is no arrogance, no distance between the stars and the team. They lowered their heads, smiled, thanked everyone involved. I, who stood a little far away, could only sigh with relief, at the same time moved. On the way home, the shadow of their resentful behavior was still spinning in my head. The way they melt into each other, the little giggles in between, and the subtle attention they give each other, all form warm memories that are hard to erase. I know, maybe for some people it's just a small thing. But for a fan who loved them not just for acting, but for their genuine personalities, the moment felt so special. In the world of entertainment that is full of pressure and competition, watching two people who can remain themselves behind the camera is a gift in itself. Hou Minghao with his spontaneous charisma, and Lu Yuxiao with his cheerful gentleness, created an alluring balance. Perhaps without them knowing it, they have taught an important lesson. That kindness, laughter and respect are the things that make every trip feel more beautiful. And as a fan who is lucky to be a witness, I can only smile while whispering in my heart a small moment of the day may pass, but the memory of Hou Minghao and Lu Yuxiao's outrageous behavior on set will always live on in our memories, his fans, as proof that true warmth can be found even in the midst of the hustle and bustle of the entertainment world.